In this episode, I'll show you one thing that changes everything, so subscribe and stay until the end, my dear friend. Taming a parrot doesn't have to be a battle of nerves. It can be a calm conversation carried out through small, everyday gestures. We'll go step by step through the moments by the cage, by the hand, and in silence, to build trust. At first, the bond starts before you open the cage door, when you simply sit calmly next to the cage. The parrot looks at you with one eye, then pretends to be busy with its feathers to see if you'll press it. Instead of talking a lot, you breathe more slowly and give her space to decide, because it calms her down. When you make a small movement, like adjusting your sleeve, you watch whether the parrot's body becomes stiff. If tension rises, you take half a step back and show you don't have to force being closer. After a moment, you'll notice it goes back to standing calmly on the perch and stops nervously glancing your way. This is the moment when you teach her that your presence doesn't mean sudden action or grabbing. A fixed time of day works well, because the parrot understands faster what to expect from that routine. It's not about sitting for hours, it's about showing up regularly and slipping away without any fuss. When you leave, do it calmly, so the parrot doesn't learn that your movements are always sudden. After a few meetings like that, you see that when it sees you, it doesn't nervously move away to the other end of the perch. Then you've got a foundation you can build the next steps on without stress, and without rushing. The next stage is your hand, but for now as a calm part of the landscape, not a tool for touching. You hold your hand outside the cage, in the same position for a moment, so the parrot can look at it. The parrot can tilt its head and look closely, as if it's judging whether something is safe. You don't put your fingers near the bars, because she can take it as an invitation to defend her space. When you see relaxed feathers and the calm weight of its body evenly on both feet, you stay a moment longer. If they start nervously pulling away or breathing fast, you just lower your hand and go back to being calm. In these minutes, you're teaching the parrot that your hand doesn't suddenly swoop in and make a fuss near its face. A steady repeating rhythm helps a lot, where the hand appears, stays briefly, and disappears without any pressure. Over time, the parrot stops reacting warily to the mere sight of a hand and focuses on its surroundings. It's not spectacular, but it's exactly this everyday normality that creates a real sense of safety. As it starts feeling safer, the parrot sometimes comes up closer to the bars on its own, like it wants to test its courage. Then you know the next step will come from her curiosity, not from your rush. Now we're getting into food, because for a parrot it's often the quickest way to communicate. You pick one small snack and offer it calmly, always in a similar way, and in a similar place. The parrot might come right up, or it might watch you for a long time, pretending it isn't interested. You don't move the food toward her beak, because that motion can be too fast and too direct for her. You hold the treat steady, and your fingers stay still, so it doesn't look like hunting. If the parrot takes the food and immediately leaves, you accept it without comment, and without trying to stop it. It's an important sign that he can accept the reward while still keeping control of the distance. As the days go by, you'll notice she takes the treat and stays closer, and her body is no longer tense. When there's hesitation, you don't add pressure. You just end the attempt when things are calm. The parrot will remember that meeting you ends without any stress, and that builds trust faster than tricks. At some point, you'll see she's waiting by the bars on her own, as if she'd arranged to meet you for a quick visit. This is the moment when food stops being a bribe and becomes a bridge to a calm relationship. When the parrot is comfortable with your presence, you can start teaching it to step onto your hand. You don't suddenly stick your hand in. You calmly open the little door and stop moving before it gets scared. You hold your hand steady like a perch, without wiggling your fingers and without moving it closer to her face. The parrot often touches things with its beak first, as if checking whether it moves and whether it's stable. You allow this exploration because it doesn't have to be aggression, just a cautious getting to know a new support. When one foot lands on your hand, you don't lift your arm, because stability is what matters most right now. If the parrot changes its mind and goes back to the perch, you accept it calmly, like a normal response. In this part, keeping a steady rhythm matters more than speed, so you do short, successful tries. The parrot is starting to understand that your hand doesn't take away its freedom, it gives it the ability to choose. Over time, stepping in becomes smoother, and you notice fewer nervous sidesteps. When you manage to hold the handstand calmly for a moment, you finish at the right time and gently set it down. That's how you build trust, where the parrot learns it can always go back to its spot without a fight. In day-to-day taming, rushing ruins things the most, so it's worth learning to read the parrot's subtle signals. When a parrot freezes and makes its body look narrow, it often means you've pushed past its comfort zone. If it starts looking around quickly and shifting its feet, it's telling you it needs more space. Instead of testing how much she can take, you take a small step back and give her a moment to regain her balance. Calm feathers and gentle movements are a good sign that you can stay here a little longer. When there's a loud warning, you treat it as information, not as something malicious. Your answer is simple. You stop and go back to the stage where the parrot feels confident. That kind of stepping back isn't a failure. It's just a normal part of a relationship where safety matters. This way, the parrot learns that communication works, so it doesn't need to resort to stronger reactions. Over time, you'll see that the warning signs show up less often because the parrot trusts your decisions. The calmest way of getting used to something can sometimes look like nothing special, but that's exactly where its strength lies. When you're predictable, the parrot becomes brave, curious, and more open to contact faster. In the end, a moment comes when the relationship starts to live on its own, because the parrot learns your everyday calm. It's not just about training anymore, but about ordinary moments together where the parrot feels seen. You sit down next to it and speak softly, and the parrot sometimes answers with a look and a calm step along the perch. In moments like this, you do less and notice more how the parrot chooses closeness in its own way. When she steps onto your hand, give her a brief moment, then calmly let her go back before she gets tired. If one day she feels more uncertain, you take it as a worse mood, not as a step back forever. The parrot appreciates consistency, so you keep a similar pace, similar gestures, and a similar calm. Then you see that coming up to you becomes a safe choice for her, not an obligation. Over time, she may signal she's ready on her own by coming up to the door and waiting for your reaction. Your answer is patience, because the best things in a relationship happen when you don't force anything. Stress-free taming isn't one trick, it's a series of small, honest meetups day after day. When you look at a parrot and feel calm, it very often starts breathing more calmly along with you. How you treat your pet shapes its behavior every day. It's good that you are here and learning with us. Watch the next video and learn something new about your pet. Your support helps create more valuable content. Until next time.